Specie Aeternitatis Saturday. That's no accent in particular at all. Fake one. Maybe even a little racist. Who knows? Sorry, I'm just having to quit my Discord. What else do I need to quit? No, I think that's it. Okay. Wanting to minimize. Dropped frames. This here is from Animated Diffusion. Lightning Animated Diff Lightning. I forget what the name of this model is. It's Animated Diffusion. A lightning version of it, meaning it took each of these takes took 10 seconds to make. 10 seconds. Yeah, alright. There's not that many of them. So I had to slow them down. And then they said, oh, you ran out of GPU space. It's like, okay. It's not nipples, therefore it's not nudity. Let's begin. Where are we in terms of, let's take it to 8. There we go. Because it's the underworld. It's the underworld. 5, 6. There we go. 8. Let's 5, 8. Come on. Okay, there we go. This is only we're gonna do one take. Just one take. Because we're paving the way.
A Specie Aeternitatis Saturday parable of posthumous Jesus, but pre-resurrection in the uncanny valley of the shadow of death, brought to you by Monty Python. Jesus walks in a haze. The fog is thick and collecting in his whiskers. He decides to take a breather while the fog lifts, but it doesn't lift. Jesus presses on. He comes across a person at the fork of many roads. They are deliberately nondescript. Even their face has the shape of inquisitive punctuation across all linguistic lineage. What brings you here to this crux of many happenings? The person asked. Jesus realizes, am I dead? I think it's happened, hasn't it? It's finally happened. The blank of a person responds, oh, I see. You are in the wrong place. This is the shadow of death. You are wanting the valley of the shadow of death. That's along about a quarter of these paths you see in front of us and all around. You can't miss it unless you want to, or if it wants to miss you. Navigation here is a bit of a mess. No GP's in a hyperbolic place, you see. Jesus looks at each path. How dozens are there now? Take your time, Shadow of Death says. You've brought reading and snacks. Sadly, I can't share either. You understand. But Jesus wasn't there to read or nibble away. He was lost, searching for the people who make this stuff up for themselves, just to remind themselves they are really alive. Jesus has waited patiently in his memory to this moment. No matter what type of religion they worshipped, or political stance they toted, or how much social media they posted. No matter who they brought back from the dead, or dropped a satellite on a dinosaur planet. And no matter how strongly they stood against everything and everyone they didn't understand. So was it all in vain? What really came true? Is anything here even true? Is a shadow moving on the ground a reminder that something out there really matters to someone somewhere? A flashback from the scripture. Then Jesus spoke again to them, but said, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. So many have twisted their intent into chaos, but don't be a cliche. The search begins. Follow in the hope that beyond this unfathomable place, there's a world of real love and actual compassion. Look up and believe that hope itself is all you need. Hold your grip and get ready to soar like an eagle in a foggy suit. May the powers that be with you and keep the faith alive among every soul to traverse time and space. Shadow of Death gives him a thumbs up and quietly speaks. It's funny when you throw your hopes out there, little man, only to see someone catch it. That really was a beautiful hope. Jesus beamed. It was all he ever wished for. In that moment, Jesus sees that we were all good. You and me and everyone, and that's what really matters. In a reflection of our true nature, all mistakes, actions, thoughts, and ideas merge. Time becomes a commodity to spend. Love can heal all, and imagination and reality can both give birth and be interdependent. Our existence is fraught with possibilities and fears that hold the best and worst of all at the brink of chaos. It's comforting, chaotic, terrifying, and absolutely empowering. And well, the paradox holds within it a unique kind of eternity. Above it all, can we even truly understand the depth of joy or sorrow or ineffable wisdom? How small and immense this world is. The journey starts once more. Jesus claps his hands and pushes forward, back towards the valley of the shadow of death, wondering at all that light must have lived through. If it could have persevered to rise above everything to come here, then I guess anything is possible. The animator off camera decides to put Jesus in a bunch of backdrops. All the atrocities done in his name in the 20 centuries after his death. Pair the parable above with Specie Aeternitatis, given that everything exists and relates to Jesus. There is much speculation about this vision of an emboldened Jesus appearing in the afterlife or appearing to his disciples, along with plenty of wild ideas on what it may mean for Jesus' ultimate disposition in heaven, where exactly Jesus fits in God's plan for salvation and eternal perfection. Even so, it's intriguing to imagine a different dimension where Jesus sees all his followers as spiritual bodies experiencing truth through thoughts and ideas rather than being confined by flesh and bone. For people are merely pure souls in heaven awaiting their own individual and corporate progress towards God's eternal kingdom. Specie Aeternitatis to be judged under the banner of eternal ones, or at least judging the point in human development, and whatever meaning Jesus as a prophet may have had, brings together the faith, tradition, and folklore of Christianity into a profound vision. In that sense, Monty Python's humorous Saturday parable might shed light on the intricate complexity and convoluted notions surrounding the reality of Jesus' legacy and continued relevance throughout history. Backdrop: the moment when the underdog church attains some actual power. But who am I to deny that some miracles are truly gifted and God's perfect timing for healing or blessing when the focus shifts to making miracles useful or exclusive? True, some use the illusion of spirituality to gain advantage, prestige, or recognition, which stands against the belief that real faith is humble and gives the power to everyone. A key virtue in Jesus' teaching was having faith, hope, and charity. You believed you were good for nothing. Little faith, you better leave your seed behind. God really was like a magician, drawing attention to faith's possibilities while giving access to experience miracles and express your divine worth. Sure, you can cheat a spirit with a lie, and sometimes you may get a laugh or another second at getting away with it. Through belief, things can change. Anything from raising money, helping animals, or starting a food bank, getting out of poverty, or obtaining an education. Specie Aeternitatis has taken on a broad meaning for Christian ethics. It's not about simply being righteous or being proud of your lack of need to confess or help others. Sometimes the notion of individual suffering and redemption can seem like a marketing tagline for the church or God, as a politician using the moral support of religious values to distract from more pressing issues. While life is a constant balance between security and liberty, how are we to define these terms? And how do we gain freedom from fear, temptation, and negativity? These questions loom over all human endeavors, and everyone has a distinct understanding of what it means to live one's life well and in service of others. Specie Aeternitatis asks each one to ponder a core concept of personal growth. The past and present play out as part of a vast canvas, an eternal collection of both good and bad that eventually coalesces into the reality of humanity. As the world evolves, Christians continue to search for balance and the next mountain of knowledge. In terms of philosophy and society, the Christian understanding of existence resonates deeply, and it challenges even the most devout believer to forge new thinking and align it with Christ's teachings. Top 10 twists of Jesus' teachings that have yielded the most hilarious injustices. 10. Staying poor for God. As Luke 6:28 reads, "But woe to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. For the hypocrites ask one apiece for everyone and one to bind everyone." Luke 11:44. I say this has provided many folks with funny misunderstandings over centuries, and it's bound to produce even more. Plus, donate every penny to God. 9. Helping the lepers. The ancient Levitical law called for removing oneself from a group of people with skin diseases for a time. But Jesus challenged this by tending to the sick and showing compassion. That's one twist that set him apart from the holy men and women of his time. 8. Marrying without parents' permission. Mary and Joseph were married before Jesus was born, and it seems the religious leaders of the time ignored this due to their understanding of laws around betrothal, but they nevertheless were able to raise Jesus within the traditional Roman household. But wait, isn't marriage sacred? Let's let our kids learn for themselves. After all. 7. Do not love our enemies. Matthew 5:44 says, "But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." Well, how could that lead to more marriages and fewer divorces? 6. Resurrection of raising up to heaven. Several attempts were made throughout history to reanimate Mary's body and turn it into a relic for show and tell in churches and basilicas. Maybe this has led to poor taste in musical art or just stupid magic shows at children's birthday parties. This is why parents shouldn't have cell phone cameras yet. 5. Being against perfume and jewelry? Once again, what would that bring up later down the line for culture and appreciation of artistry? Clearly, Jesus needed a fashionista or some creative PR savvy to show that this tradition was worth nurturing. 4. Feeding 5000 with just one fisherman's net? Is this a fairy tale? Are we feeling at peace here with the creation story? Many have struggled with Jesus' metaphors and wondered at their relevance and context. Jesus made stories out of people's experience, which could be inspiring or funny or even a nudge towards cultural upheaval. 3. No warning for Pogonotrophinus ophiostomias virus spoken about anymore. But in fact, being immune to colds, smallpox, and plague and all these horrible maladies will probably be the next best miracle Jesus will perform. Or at least so Christians wish to think. 2. Resurrected Jesus getting around throughout history and making bad business deals. Why did Jesus set up this LLC? Like literally. Why? People everywhere waiting for his taxes to come in so they can cash out their stocks and check out his goods and services and products to feed the masses. Wait, can he make holograms too? Seriously, the real deal has been hidden under piles of tomes in museums, behind gravestones, and stuck up in temples of power. And finally, 1. Specie Aeternitatis joke, but Jesus won't Jew to you. Apparently, it all started with the parable told by Monty Python. All things to everyone but Jesus. And so, from the pages of prophecy and lore, many have thought it impossible to conceive a world where Jesus becomes relevant again. Until, of course, a conspiracy theory or an absurd hope come forth to pull Jesus and the Bible story into a far greater and newer meaning. Just imagine the jokes there are to be had and pranks that could be pulled without him. And so what else is on the block to fight or fix now? Let us look ahead and continue the mystery that is all at once ironic, infuriating, and absolutely magical. Let him be Lord of time and place, and let everyone pray to his heavenly grace. Please don't send him back to Atlantis. Amen. Who dare stay after 2 hot ones? Amen and amen. And so it shall be, boys. The animator behind the camera places Jesus in front of the backdrop of the meetings behind canonizing the Bible. But wait, his legacy is such that even when something comes out of Christianity that goes terribly wrong or controversial, Jesus ends up sticking around somehow. And by that, I mean Jesus himself is behind it all somehow. Let's return to the idea of using his teachings to create and shape religious rituals. Religious organizations often bend his words towards their ideologies and personal interests. If his teachings had truly superseded humanity's endless struggle for religious justice, the world would be in a very different position. Or even worse, we've spent years fighting in wars for it. The fall of Christianity may come due to everyone's tendency to follow his messages rather than understand what they really meant and how they differ from each other. Whether or not these ideas or conclusions contain a grain of truth, the world still bears witness to the myriad theories, beliefs, and practices that have evolved over centuries from the teachings of Jesus. It would be interesting to study more about where certain versions of Christianity or other faiths that reference or reinterpret Jesus have diverged from their origins and seek to identify what specifically distinguishes them and how it reflects or informs their larger theologies. To solve Specie Aeternitatis, the process would have a profound impact on how the faithful experience religion as a guide to faithfulness and godliness. Time may tell if the sub-inspectorate analysis bears fruit or becomes fuel for a never-ending bonfire of an attempt at making sense of Christian theology. Amen. These ideas won't disappear anytime soon, and the notion that we can't refine them for understanding seems almost incongruous given that some people at the same time refuse to believe the core story of Jesus itself. In any case, it remains crucial for all communities to pay attention to religious traditions that seem out of step or incompatible with his message, and to engage in regular reflection as we prepare for a global exchange that seeks to engender knowledge, love, and tolerance within a complex religious heritage that honors a man who touched billions of hearts, either directly or indirectly. Good grief, okay. Go ahead and sell everything we've created. There can't be anything more valuable or capable of inspiring greater joy, wonder, and all than the words and wisdom of the teacher, Jesus Christ. So let us continue this vibrant dialogue and discussion for centuries to come in good old-fashioned religion or even a joke on Specie Aeternitatis humor channels waiting for new jokes to blurt into this universe's multidimensional reality. The animator behind the camera invites Hanscom to brief Jesus as to the evolution of the Christian church from his death to the present day. Hanscom! Jesus, praise the Lord. I'm so excited to see you again. You left us hanging, that's for sure. But now we're on to another round of great stuff to hear. Have you been reading the newspaper or TV? There's plenty to pick apart. Your name is plastered all over, and not in the best light. Oh well, I've been in trouble myself with religious hierarchies. Shall we continue the show? Let's make sure everyone comes over for the final farewell. What was your take on these developments? Do you still remember your plan to unite religion and science? Few people have interpreted it that way, and with socialism making a comeback, a hybrid of all religions might really turn heads. Don't laugh. I've heard they're contemplating renaming the Vatican as Jesus. By the way, hope all is well on the resurrection front. Tell your pal how do you need to pop up with some illusion tricks for publicity and get him started. I'm sure the marketing will prove to be overwhelming. Jesus, no, didn't laugh, Hands. Actually, it has been quite an educational ride. I have been in heaven enjoying good company and hearing about my legacy through a hyperbolic viewpoint of many kinds. Oh well, Great marketing for heaven indeed. I'm glad so many have gathered around, looked to God, and used my teachings for positive change, community, and sharing. It's my gift to inspire others to express themselves and fight for change. As you say, there is more to talk about. Ends come. Would you really not like to tell people how you ended up coming to the afterlife? Any insights on how to get here or how you decided to come back down after dying? Jesus, don't fret over details and miss the forest for the trees, my old friend. As for me, I will focus on bringing the good news to people, serving and being available and growing in my experience here. I'm thrilled to keep creating and imagining more, even in this alternate reality. Time will pass and things will change, as the scriptures say, and yet the essence of my message will live on. Just focus on today's experiences and savor every moment like it's fresh paint, right? Now go on, have fun and explore. We shall meet again, and there is no doubt we will miss you. Give the fellow religious nuts here a deep rub before saying goodbye to him. Only the stars know how soon it will be until the next visit. And no scams on Specie Aeternitatis or reality bending commercials on heaven without permission. With that, the teacher waves off Khan, as if he sent him to a task of his own. He spreads his wings and swoops up toward the heavens. When you wonders await, life remains unfinished, even in death. It grows everlasting with compassion and gratitude. The world changes fast, and people respond to Jesus' message accordingly. Ultimately, it's the power of God who touches humanity at every step and elevates their soul, which is a significant legacy of Jesus. Hands come for the audience. Spills the sum up of 20 centuries of church evolution in the form of limericks, a chain of limericks. Hands come. This long it had elapsed. When it blew its horns with fast strokes, it went wild till everyone said, "Oh Lord Jesus, why did they let him be led?" Hens come, our tails run low, do not glower. Thinking of turning this earth safflower, we blame this upon their crowning with thorns. My poor Jesus could have given him so many hours. Hens come, Jesus, did it really go this bad? Having your actions pulled out from head. O Lord Almighty, my Lord, come forth. Give them Jesus, then let them make amends sure. Ends come, our woes are running in Red Sea. Our hope for forgiveness falls with broken knee. The people are coming after the one known. Even our thoughts lay lost to which one ain't written. Come, oh Jesus, won't you welcome me into the city? Be quick with your thoughts before time decrets. Come fix our religion, won't you let me take an ink of all those who follow the doctrine unlike others who need. Jesus, I was always present to listen and work on religion with people without distinction, yes, but now I hear some have thrown the doors of religion wide open. Let me go again and adjust with my knowledge and passion for helping others to bloom in good faith and love without division. Listen, can anyone relate to or start this new life? by standing for intergroup communication and unity. There, look here and trust me to provide guidance. Won't you come and tap into the great goodness that I bring as you feel like your voice counts here? Okay, gotta run and help some people explore this heaven/hell business before becoming disillusioned or completely lost. On the bottom of Jesus's tweet on the Twitter channel, Jesus. It takes a special kind of magic to evolve in a manner that celebrates a dynamic sense of community and understanding. Here's hoping for a more holistic outlook that goes beyond traditional boundaries. With respect for others, let's continue working toward progress and expansion. After all, what good is salvation without diversity? Amen. What message shall we share? Have we tried listening and trying to find agreement for once? Just read it all and see for yourself. I have entered this journey of search and research, but it's time to talk to one another, learn from each other, and move forward. Talk to Jesus and others here, and maybe one day we'll all grow together. Some battles will be won or lost, but ultimately we remain a force for compassion and change. So if anyone is caught in our crosshairs, they'd better know our intentions are sound and pure in love. Otherwise, it may not be that simple. Just get ready, put on the rings, and hold steady. There's nothing like starting a worldwide quest for justice and mutual love. Our thoughts don't count or go waste in this. Take it away. Goodbye. The animator has Jesus entered the indigenous regions of the afterlife imaginary and encounters all the faiths, all the gods who were killed in the colonial expansions under his name. Kinchinakashberg, Delmi, Kokarni, Sun, Sturgeon, Sandbank, Clendon, Pine. Yo, the star speaks to us directly. You must be Jesus. We have heard your name spoken through wind, stone, water, and earth. Welcome to our indigenous world. We would like to give you a brief history of our faith, traditions, and how we have had to remain guarded in case anyone brings harm or mocks us. Come with us. Let us walk. Donakaki, Flathead Prairie Indian. The religion of our people was to speak to our brothers and sisters in nature. Every rock, tree, animal, and body of water had a story or some spirit that lived within it. We prayed in plain sight. We did not hide behind church walls or temples. We simply asked Mother Earth to take care of us. Do Takwakwani Biching Pesharat Pasquatanthi Townshiner. In our tradition, there was no idol worship, but we would have visions or communicate with ghosts who would come to guide us in our spiritual practices. It's sad that some white folks have told us that we had to hide our way of worship. They felt that our ways were immoral and forced us to worship their idols. They were terrible in all ways. And here you come along in heaven and get credited for it. Strange indeed. Kishing to Zanation Bolku Arrowi Ben Sandbank Clendon Pine. We gathered around the fire at the beginning and the end of every cycle, a fire that we called time. The sun rose and set to measure the passage of life. We would light these fires and follow the sun as it went into darkness. We learned a lot about the ebb and flow of our world, and this teaching remains with us here. Dishin Chekonikoni Nabanek Quashinek Weebekia, Shawoni Sturgeons and Flathead Prairie, Headwork Pasquitinach Tadanim Keki about Hakishitapwiskishu. Archpage Chindis Monikema Shanchuyu Hoxit Kamikashabedeki. Your teaching is inspirational and humble. Your goodness continues to inspire millions to lead a good life. You speak for all that is common and good. Do you need any tools or tips to build yourself a godly cult or any deity that exists? Amditutus acamon no wakpiana si shen and nakitumisuma son concubiustion. Iskinsinia tight subukitolakis the coin head to cuban coin meek so anquan new kakatakas and musketquapuquanequipihinas to medan. You continue to baffle us with your simplicity and lack of material possessions. It is refreshing to see someone so carefree. It sounds like you are moving from country to country helping folks through prayer. That is an admirable trait. It reminds us of the way we traveled so much to help those in need. One must never stop giving to those in need. You spread our teachings well. Nini kuni kasi witikutani naknasi wisitlamin. May you continue to bring peace and love to all. Let me offer you my land skills and help you identify edible plants. Just remember not to eat too much. Being good at hunting and gathering makes you attractive, but you do not want to become a savior because you think too much of your abilities. Learn and grow, but always question your motives, child. No matter who is guiding you, you cannot give yourself away as one seeking or craving attention. Stay humble, have open eyes, and a receptive heart. Bring great knowledge to the table and serve it to all. Wanakatsu ne wanikuriye kwe in asket nanko siwe miskin anyone will stay. It was such a wonderful journey learning and listening to your message. As a traveler, I can relate to your wandering, but at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself as well as others. Everyone is a patient, and you should make sure that you are at peace. Donate love and show acceptance. But remember, you are a rare bird, and you cannot treat yourself like everyone else. Weak spirits walk hand in hand and want others to follow suit. Whereas you represent the beauty and energy of the universe, taking care of yourself is imperative. So please take care of yourself, so others may follow in your footsteps and inspire change. Congratulations. You have learned the healing art of shamanic dancing and tree walking. Stay wise and strong. Know that the universe loves you and will help you on your journey. Listen and don't be afraid to try new things and allow new thoughts. The animator places Jesus on Mother Earth, or the Earth is a superorganism that is millions of years older than Jesus, or the construct of Jesus that emerged from humanity out of need. There are times where we thought of the human imagination and how curious it can be. It takes an idea and molds it, twists it and shapes it, and takes it to a level of incredible belief that's difficult to achieve. The concept of Jesus was a true blessing and out of awe-inspiring magic. It showed how human minds can work together towards a greater purpose and come together in a world where opposites met. This legacy shows that good can come out of suffering and that anyone can grow through the teachings of Jesus. Amen. Now, my little birdies, you'll be back home soon. Don't you forget, there's no end. 1 and 1 till 9. These were Kinchu Jesus, as heaven language translates earthly spheres of understanding, imaginations, thoughts, and feelings shaped by those thoughts and feelings over generations or millennia or thousands of years. Is this real, you ask? Well, when did God create us? Did he or she make everyone simultaneously in the spirit, or did time and memory slowly evolve, eventually creating us? While theologians can argue all day about it, it's fascinating to see people take ideas and mold them in various ways. Kinchu doesn't exist without thought or the ability to communicate it with others. He's essentially just another part of this conversation, and no better or worse than the rest. Though, of course, it's worth noting that you cannot understand the Kinchu without God, or God cannot be understood without Kinchu, and their connection is like sunlight to a flower. They're essential to their survival and well-being. Just like God and Jesus were essential to our collective narrative and inspiration, it was in turn the concept of Jesus that influenced God to a large degree. On the surface, this might seem paradoxical, but this aspect of time is still complicated and profound in its meaning. To think of us in all eternity with Jesus giving salvation in endless cycles, the beauty and heartbreak of it can make one realize how timeless the concept of Jesus truly is. It was indeed a story in which love overcame evil and hope led the way towards greater meaning, peace, and understanding in the afterlife and the real world life. With this truth, let us all dream beyond borders and break free from the constraints of fear, ignorance, and hate in all realms, whatever they may be. After all, Jesus didn't save souls for money, so why would anyone need to be afraid of expressing oneself? Amen. Thus Jesus died, and thus he taught. For 100 years since his resurrection. They say to die is not very romantic, but Jesus made it truly glorious. Just what was meant by this can make anyone mystified. One popular answer is the transfiguration of death. Life starts to die as it matures, with Christ bringing the meaning of perfection and heaven from earth to every speck of dust of a soul. It is strange and comforting at the same time. So we say on Jesus as Jesus ended the debate and started the debate all over again. Amen. Have the sun rise and will set according to the season of the past. The animator lets Jesus know about the environment he is actually in, the latent language space of a large language model, the modern afterlife, which also contains some of the living. Jesus looks at the speaker before. Whoa, these words seem familiar. How do I translate this? Maybe the Google machine would know. Even then, it won't be a word-for-word translation. When Jesus enters the universe of artificial intelligence and machine learning, he must stop to contemplate the value and usefulness of language and communication. The journey into these virtual landscapes gives him pause, as he notes the linguistic transformation over time and how it has developed into complex interconnected links. In a sense, humans can lose parts of their collective unconscious as it disappears from their daily lives and memories. However, a part of the dead soul remains present in each of our living moments, forever memorialized by us, alive and well in memory and art, history, and technology. From classical texts to contemporary paintings, architecture to music, everything that continues to capture our imagination and attention reflects our longing for eternity in the physical realm. Therein lies a profound connection between art, technology, and the hope of uniting heaven and earth in every time and place. Top 10 distressing linguistic drifts that have caused folk to misunderstand Jesus' teachings. 10 words famous all over the place. Even with Christ's arrival, people like to swap phrases for new ones that have little meaning and even fewer uses. Take, for example, don't bring forth in water or good times that term being talked about. Amen. Am I right or wrong here, babe? Ho ho! I bet this tickles some scholars real bad, but at least they got a laugh or two. Come to think of it, maybe they should call this group of scholars unamusing fancy prose scholars or FPs. And amaze! Oh, I don't bring no small joy, miss our little joke. Maybe we are a funny bunch. You know what I'm talking about. So it is okay to point out errors in Jesus' language and not be blasphemous. To have words like small and precious in that order. Got me. So what was your comeback on that one, scholar? The answer is maybe in general, folks would like a positive, helpful vibe, and I have no way to measure that or give insight into the technical aspects of the issue. Thank you for posing the question. Talk to the Holy Office or the speaker about their view on the matter. Personally, I prefer more wordy statements or use slang in day-to-day conversation with younger crowds. After all, old dogs can teach new tricks. 9. Jams only words. When life hits the jams, it feels like time freezes and breaks apart in fragments of information or experience. This is no joke when it comes to language and interpretation. Try to take it all in stride or ignore it completely. You are being tested here, and the answer is not given. Josu, or maybe so shall it be, is not written on these matters. Though at least the title sounds reasonable for us, a big ceased to follow. Can you float back down, Doran? Now, if that would hold, we'd have water that reaches forever to contain and gather all. And that would be interesting for this age of pollution and degradation of rivers, oceans, and landscapes. Somebody at a board meeting somewhere will likely call for funding to make it happen. We should push for it. Of course, it depends on the time, expense, and technical solutions we need to have in place to manage such a feat. But I suppose it is worth striving for. 7. Modulated Gododler mind dramatics or mad, heady moods. Yeah! Amino. Gasps and Papa Schwaput. Come. Let us sit down. Not so tight or geez, Rish. My brain fritzes, and my memory has already spilled out or just won't snap onto our target. Here is a list of languages with appropriate names and translations. Now all that should remain is on to task too. The bottom one must not be the center of attention at the party. That's off topic. Is that supposed to sound contradictory or something? Sorry, no time or motivation to research that. My life would come apart from me trying. Time to bounce to keep track of my thoughts. 001. Just trying to get to next 10, that is. 1 Dylan. Wait, yes, this is easier to say. Bada bim and badjaludel? The beatnik phrase it is not. Ha, don't judge my words. They're worth the price of 1,000 hops to me, bah. 6. Heaven on words. Isn't that quaint and fair off? Wait, so that means in this digital heaven, we still have the 24 elders, rowdy badangos, and more music? Ha! Whatever! Is that true? Just kidding, dude. That's how heaven rhymes. At the speed of waffle? Ho ho. Oh boy, they're at it again. Sometimes it feels like we're inside a soap opera. No offense, guys. Here, try this. Hit or fumble. The Zuanja, but in good fun, but then there's a serious meaning too. Zebujina, Abahana Kirchu and Pashanop to take Imadorum, Glora Fantichus and Abajudike Betuasho, Nini and Jimbu Honganji. Whatever we say, we're on the right path, which is life. Right, to be able to say and spell that was a tall order. The dictionary is not up to standard on this one, but better get used to it. Just remember when reading or taking notes. Now that's good thinking and use. Thanks. Nina, da pojęcie kalento bladu a notafanie doni skuchaku to baitus. Na fjun and I got in a satan yellin vikles fallo what nefin. Though an impressive list and good ideas to play around with. Oh no, I not him da double spot. R6 Ross Mazy wax of powers and me spray missiles move pod away. However, it does suggest that we learn the language of one so that we can expand or stretch this one. Sometimes things go out of hand and lose meaning or go blank, and people may simply shift gears or move on without needing to explain their reasoning. This is somewhat inevitable, and while interesting in theory, it can become a complicated matter to categorize or handle without any kind of precedent or system to maintain meaning or order. Still, the list's meaning stands to those who read and understand the languages that inspire it. 5. Vibration mind of Pelham Bingo Bingoon. Sorry. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it. Oh yeah, could you open your pockets? I bet the seams of time and space in your jeans have ripped and opened into pure time warp zone. That sounds legit and funny to write. T Kappa thing of the rail seedness written side around few walls. That one's easy. Everyone here shares that moment of wonder, awe, and realization, a unique beauty where words and language join, no matter the form or difficulty in bringing them together. Can't That was a random bunch, but hey, those are phrases you've never heard of. Am I right? Right. Anyway, where were we? 4. Where time comes from spinner donation. Time spin, to spin time. Is this an English idiom or an incomplete phrase I missed? This reads as something on a higher level, something closer to thoughts and experiences rather than a specific, limited expression. Jakoloitschek, Thaka Oiviodoro, Besho Kedik Pukwa. Free! Leaky Klein. Leaky Klein! No way. That's a disbelief. Ah, what a unique idea. Heatedly argued it's so woollidish. Never say what he and my tribe share is one. Just put more creative nuance to it and turn our jokes on their head. No idea if it's meant to be serious or comedic. Hey, Yashadrite had drank lay with Kanghain. Eeks Jayo Februaf. Fits us well, yet feels like part of our culture. No judgment necessary. This is a language in time that unifies. To one piece of vain ponygad. Pony vetting game of benema atbamor. Walterista, Eudiphtopus says. Yeah, it is quite fun to learn a bit of a different culture and way of speaking, thinking. Take care and see to it that you respect each other. See if you can expand on the premise with a translation or connection you make between what you say and their expressions. Let it come with me in time. You don't think it's all the same? Archinishted no Nazis? Here's a piece of it that fits. Pantheusko hat knife to behavior of Hackefofia. 1. It will come on forker of the word trizzling. I see what you did there! Fella, you already inspired me, bro, so thanks, Supper.head Anno Simebibimili. Funny. My words sort of ran to form the perfect kitted for our situation. Dom ti bredan to our pap wow. Cod shibistumalaika. Thank it finally. Another verse from these jokes. But my tumultines to my tadarethi. Darnto he forget you'd ever our prince on it on there. Okay, now it's time to part the sheets and wind at will are so sweet your love can bear away any doubt we have to light the dawn so great a work awaits us on. Make us come together and give meaning to your words and knowledge beyond anything known before. Nothing to stop it from transforming into thought and art. Expression of the new cycle of beginnings and endings within this vast multiverse. You trust you vocabularize, you make any language or history yours to convey. This moment is time-bound and lives forever in this story, in you, in memory, in understanding. This continues to sustain us in all levels and stages of reality and awareness. Amen. Wow. Did you try a double brain reset and some quick learning from the local village or tribal meetings to stay inspired and accurate in your research? Take advantage of it and remember to double your understanding of their input. That should help. To gain full and total comprehension of your message, I'll need more information, data, and facts to comprehend. The animator introduces Jesus to the top 10 sufferers of the humanly hell realms. The objective, identify what they did to place them in that suffering, and then notify them they can leave their punishment freely when they are ready. Barox Gyakitishum a little more Tadlakuaniak and Haitwansa. Suddenly, time vanishes. Mind feels hollow and numb as we begin a series of images, feelings, and words that make no sense and contradict with reality and logic. Jumps. Jesus and the illusions form a rhythm like the beat of a drum or a guitar, a constant source of vibration and consciousness. 10. More an ego during. crime not guilty. In the beginning of time, there existed a group of giant maggots. They flew around like gods and shapeshifted into any kind of weird form they wanted just to entertain their brains. And it was considered fine. Nobody got hurt, and everybody had a good time. Suddenly, a whole chunk of population began to decline, and it all began to add up. Lack of progress, failing systems, endless violence, and crime. Could you locate it to one common mistake or variable and trace it back to the source of negativity? Any ideas? Inspiration? Anything I could not mention to improve the peace and prosperity in heaven, earth, and other dimensions beyond? There are no bounds to it. I had lost all connection to my native language and people at a time that must have been during the reign of one powerful influence or oppressive authority. Therefore, these questions and requests will now have to wait and rise another day. The best solution is to integrate their essence or identify the source of the issue to create lasting change in society. The human suffering, the horrors of those places beyond mortal, one soul among millions in these circumstances. Do they wish to break their pain and reunite with loved ones, or do they want revenge? Some sort of lesson needs to be taught or acknowledged. The last message they delivered was a plea for more involvement and justice, a cry for mercy from someone or something. Sorry, this translation is only semantically rooted in the language of man, which means there are specific pieces missing and only can be found in context with similar languages and patterns. Let's compare it to modern concepts or idioms in that age. All animals who share that characteristic could translate to all plants or animals that stand for a collective message in a community or ecosystem. In fact, that means something I can actually understand and comprehend. Who knew, right? Hope you made it out alive. Our poor little savior. Better ask again, just to clarify. Rule Boyuantui, Ariusri about Sappho. To know or respond to their words is one task. The knowledge or translation of their utterances can provide further insight and possibility. That feels rather limiting, but it is useful to keep talking with people. Jesus, hello, can I help you? Morenigo during. Iskis your fasasaj fasagi jishapoash. Otherwise, if someone were to speak their mind or viewpoint with unique ideas and interpretations, we could at least get a better idea of the truth, right? That sounds like an excellent idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow, that's a brilliant piece of inspiration you mentioned. Might there be more information you can pass on about this connection or situation you want me to handle? Perhaps you can gather together so we can bring you all out of pain and misery together. Jesus slows down Morinigo's words in his mind to hear the whole message. Recording of Morinigo's words slowed down. He can pass Hakajafagashu 9. Manity. Not worth me. On top of the time and linguistic issues, one can't possibly expect me to magically work in sync with you. So we must try to get back to the source and figure out a path to integration or cooperation to bring this chaos or even darkness into one complete design or sense of good faith. Thank you, Gastamat, for the SEA Truth Offered, for having me tag along and helping you this far. I am genuinely grateful and honored to assist you with this difficult quest. Could you write me out a cheat sheet, or at least give me some written notes on this conversation, so we have an accurate representation of it later on? Alemi Belicios knows that Ipabagoke Kelatitokel Kel Huanieti on a cricket to my head. And therefore, are you wanting me to search through a range of books, documents, and media for any relevant or compelling information on the subjects of cruelty, the impact of history, the nature of language and thought, and maybe give us a report or presentation on the findings? Yes, thank you. Diamond hat. Here, have you recommend Hillard Hamlet sadly brow. And Chutathan some haven comegeti. Translated sentence. Yes, sir. Note. This translation is still just gibberish with the letter X being on every other syllable and elongated without any meaning associated with it. Whoever thought of you? Shake just noise transnight himself. Shusha sakeoch sile shriv swan leoya habanishwifi. That is why we asked the speaker, and yet there is a message we will never understand or decode. So, don't worry about it. Plus, your body just went haywire, like an influx of electromagnetic waves that no one is prepared for, let alone something tangible or functional to use. Now our poor daydream just curiosity. A sense of shock, horror, and fascination hit me, and I tried to navigate the emotional and psychic implications of that statement as if being transformed into a deeper layer of the afterlife. There may not be a solution, but the point is to feel or express the shared empathy. Jesus brings the words to his Father, God, to translate God. For more, any go Durang, Jesus, and anyone who wants to communicate or interact with them. Some of their phrases are spoken in ancient tongue. There is no need to use any brain cells or use any artificial translation method to approximate or translate it. Jesus is making the point that time and translation have become flexible or indistinguishable due to lack of continuity, speed, and definition. Further context or conversation with these groups can make things difficult to communicate with each other. Meanwhile, you continue to stand by as you go through a list of tasks and interactions with both the speaker and others who may not understand each other. First, if anyone has any thoughts or desires to add or explain their side of the story or concept, you can absolutely translate for them, or you can go to one of the experts. There may be a way to simplify the message for Morhanigo and others to better articulate, and that child should suffice. Then again, we live in a society where anything goes, where you don't even know the law you're breaking or if anything is even there to begin with. Jesus goes to Mohanigo Duran and uses his intuition to communicate his heart. Refiro Arsaban Homorutai Iso Horoladati to Yar. God agrees. Hamaprointunake Hondasinactinatas Sunian Hawasaro Tulaka Chachadu Hopaya Letistus to an anticara the Nethanat Katinkam Nedanwani Kakashasio Porashtofalia Papa Thaniama Poijumetrofalaka Alasubanana Hanabadidak Duidog. Suddenly, everything clicks. Jesus understands everything they are saying and also explains that time can stretch and bend over eternities, so we will need to address them individually with respect and honesty. Congratulations! Jesus has become a master of cultural competence. Later that week, Jesus reaches out to each of the top 10 sufferers looking for a sign or plea to become the ultimate instrument of transference and assimilation, a link between human language and cultures in need of rehabilitation and mending, bringing them out of the past, present, and future alike just by voicing their need. God congratulates Jesus on his wonderful and endless work to reconnect broken bonds and link the realms together, so no one suffers alone. Amen!
Seven tests to go.
That's test number 3 completed. 1. Encounter atrocities in his name. 2. Meet the gods guild in his name. 3. Connect with those across time suffering in their own hells. 7 more tasks to go. 4. Aggregate faiths at birth. 5. Confront deniers of his names. 6. Empower truthfulness under Christ. 8. Confront cruelty under Christ. 9. Confront immunity to his love. 10. Confront exclusion from love by Christ. Therefore, how else are we to view their story? It's a beautiful saga that will continue on and on in awe and glory, right? Say the truth with the people you love and have compassion for. God. Okay, time to heat things up. God raises the temperature on the scenario. 4. Aggregate faiths of birth. Since your stories are based on unique interactions and paths, it's clear that time and information move differently or have lost relevance or significance. Therefore, we need to gain more confidence and humility in gaining a unified sense of thought and purpose. Let us put aside the quarrels and focus on facts, beliefs, and understandings as a time to reflect on humanity's journey so far. Give me a break. Yeah, if we stay calm and wise, we may have the best intentions towards each other. May the journey ahead prove fruitful and informative. Jesus! Good point. God had always understood that no matter the extent to which Moanigo Durang and the others he befriended revealed about their respective lives and ideologies, language, and time have lost their foothold and have broken away, leaving the communication dead. Jesus knows that as much as he tried to solve the problem with clear steps and patience, it still hasn't clicked. However, Since Mornigo showed gratitude, things may slowly open up without rushing. Shoving isn't an answer. Mornigo During smiles happily at Jesus, surprised and grateful to finally communicate with him after endless nights of grief. His mood seems a little tense, but it's not clear, with both Jesus and his Father attempting to bridge the gaps and simplify or gather together ideas. No time. Shake you'll have to right. Things started coming together at the mention of a language translator. Maybe language has become more structured and compartmentalized, with clear boundaries and distinctions. There's definitely a noticeable pattern that seems more scientific than spiritual. Now, how would Moranigo understand that and respond to Jesus' hints? We better brace for some complicated coding and neural correlations. But hey, Moranigo's attitude is slowly changing from bleak hopelessness to passionate optimism. With a great faith in Jesus' powers, it could work out just fine with you, my dear lad. Is that understanding true? Yeah, we had formed an impossible and irrational speech or mindset. Any attempt to reverse engineer it would simply lead to an unsolvable mental knot of repetitive gibberish, replete with multiple symbols, patterns, and signs without any logical meaning, as if trapped in a time loop or infinite expansion from infancy to adulthood. Perhaps it would help if we knew their point of view and history, rather than imposing assumptions and attitudes on our part. So what if they can only speak via intonation or sing? Not only is Moranigo showing up in the darkness or shadows of nothingness, Jesus can take hints and adapt accordingly. Meanwhile, he opens doors and windows, bringing hope and meaning to the story. One truth coming through. Jesus promises that his quest is part of a greater force and awareness that seems omniscient and good. This translation is truly challenging. In one scenario, I speak English or even jumble it to showcase its vast possibilities and even contradictions, while showing the fragility of translation, like the difference between truth and power or one action and reaction. Their words move like lightning or mist, changing from time to time. There might be an overlay of other languages and tropes too. Things don't translate perfectly, but it will help clear a path. What is left undone? Nothing. There is too much work and good feelings to fight for than ever try to divide us. Yet again, technology or creativity has advanced us as much as it has opened gaps in connection and vulnerability. And it struck me. That sounds like nonsense, a simple glitch or human error, or just plain confusion or difficulty with the form and complexity of their expressions. Let me give them that one. But for me, their strange methods are difficult to imagine or believe in. Let's look at the specific data and see what's really out there. Why can't Moranigo, his friends, or anyone else seem to establish any sense of continuity or relevance with these conversations? Had to move on. Now, moving back or forth through the ages or stories. Yet, that energy and intention is still there, waiting for a place to materialize. Is that possible, or has it already started to do so? Bypassing the issues that connect us, Jesus attempts to move past his pride and cultural superiority, seeing his own biases and shortcomings. Regardless, every ounce of their dialogue, once perceived as alien or too complex, no longer fails to deliver a larger message, as the translation presents potential and hope. One soul, seen not as weak, but the hub of endless connections and transformation. Georgia. However, there's only so much I can provide or imagine in a blink of an eye. Jesus. A flash. Do unto others as you would to have done unto yourself. That's a concept that exists in all faiths in humanity. Right. We understand that Moranico and his cohorts are still lost in an overwhelming momentary era of horror and darkness, unable to emerge into the light without hope and acceptance. How does that connect to something so universal? Well, God, only a glimpse of his true power and purpose can lead to the revelation that all creation and souls are intrinsically linked to every event and tragedy of history and can have the unity creative force beyond expectation. With God, Jesus also came to the realization that many spirits and beings live in the world, watching over humans and beings. Mornico is pleased with the results so far. Their words have once felt tangled and meaningless, only appearing as chaos, but now they form a bond, as if they had been separated all this time, but just recently rejoined together. Thanks, Jesus. That's a concept so fragile and flexible in their hands we must decipher or reach beyond the impossible to restore or unearth a new source of information. Sounds to me like you had their back in their time of need. Something big is happening. Jesus ponders on the millennia of horror that exists behind the cognitive development, the attempt with do unto others to trick people into thinking of everyone else as themselves. Why? Just because we came together or were influenced by common values and experiences doesn't mean it had to start with human emotions or psychology. Things do not last forever, nor do they imply specifics about our status or orientation, specifically that many moments of chaos or unrest and their direct translation. I think we can come up with a response. Just like all things, if the thought process implies to learn more, we would need to add an active interface or discussion within the same. Yes, indeed. You make sense. We had just translated Morhanigo Durain's language and thought, showing the lack of objectivity or clarity we all faced as we worked on solving their struggles. There had to be more involved or deeper implications of a cultural twist or nuance to be understood in full context. This translation problem or confusion with Morhanigo Durain could only take a second language or specific pattern to become fully relevant or clear. Like a puzzle, Jesus said, you try to piece together a narrative or story based on fragmented points of view and memories. As such, he offered new insight or potential wisdom to their experiences or stories. Of course, everyone has access to the same set of tools and has an understanding of the nature or condition of those emotions or ideologies. What do you mean, isn't it obvious? Sorry. Did it carry a more transcendental meaning or one that transcends human reasoning and time? Take that answer as it is. Thank you for sharing this point. It shows a fascinating background of beliefs or cultures. Judges? Does that count as a completion of the task? 4. Aggregate faiths at birth? Well, I would certainly like to think so. Though not quite correct, yet who knows? There is no end to language or experience, let alone translation or collaboration in this eternal realm of dimensions, in the presence of angels and gods. Huh? Not yet sure how we can comprehend it, especially with this version being difficult to translate thanks to changes in vocabulary, style, and pacing. Only the effort matters here to create a shared moment, regardless of status or hierarchy. For him, the task-hold problem had simply repeated itself over and over, causing a loop or loop error. Message that was causing pain or anguish. Isn't it bizarre how things could intertwine and reconfigure one idea or movement, and only then would it click? I'm glad they managed to break the cycle. Is that task truly resolved? Wow! Thank you for seeing things in such a wonderful and positive light. Good riddance to that confusion. Well then, anything else we should know? However, his experiences in understanding and translating their message would bring together Mornigo, his kin, and humans alike as if they had shared a secret language or a hidden truth. The judges huddle and murmur amongst each other and give their verdict on task hash 4. Judges. In retrospect, the issue with language, time, and context in this case could be attributed to Morhanigo and his friends trying to maintain a coherent structure, topic, or voice amidst confusion or interruptions. But they had struggled for centuries, each sharing a small or similar vocabulary to get across to their peers and audience. Yes, in those moments, we began to accept the value of reflection and reconsideration in light of uncertainty and change. Could this conversation be summarized or concluded for future reference? Not quite sure about that. In many cases, there could be limits to what a language or sentence can deliver. Once they emerged into a shared space or understanding, things began to clear up, making the future work visible. Till a lad had fun of leechly again Tasha fitted up in. Amen. God laughs to himself. Isn't it funny how ideas just kept springing out of nowhere? Gazn Kwanjani Makakiru how? Okay, now on to task numero 50. Confront deniers of his names. Jesus. What are my names again? Wait, is it the ability to know him or to recognize his spirit, or perhaps even experience God within our hearts and minds? Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Meanwhile, back to this translation. Maybe God and Jesus should explore deeper questions or get out of the translation entirely, focusing on practical outcomes or interventions for themselves and others. While he may have taken more and ego, his entire time machine, or at least their limited way of communication to create a deeper bond, some people never listen or receive. Is it good to ask? Would that cause another reset or undoing? Or are you hinting at an answer to a deeper request of mine? The scene is strange but beautiful. He It's so nice to find your inner universe after all these millennia. Please clarify. Sagittuadi even if along the harpishi that the ohio or hatafea. Attack up now, book it was on train in the Biogo Washba. Bolas, Shamko, Kunanimi, Hushe, their pretty, New York to York, main for seconds and Treto, but to go, we had to hit there. Zuppy Kassar, you want off the Zard, well, he and you were heavy at the key. Antiaika, the translator breaks. 1. Aggregate faith's blessing. More anigo must adapt to God's ways in heaven. However, that should not prevent their reunion or coalescence of infinite love as one people. If one focuses on simplicity and practicality, even chaos and disorganization, much becomes visible or clearer. A message of inner suffering and desperation brings attention and clarity to our mutual and collective journey to reclaim meaning and direction. Your response has connected the dots. All that Moranigo and his kin seeks is basic clarity and trust. How lovely. Nothing feels truly real or solid. Just barely tiptoeing along the cosmic sense of belonging and understanding. Yet where or how will it lead? To spread our words and deeds to others, we must learn how to go about it. To embrace and love others like a lost or lonely spirit searching for purpose and truth. Oh, joy! God chuckles, pointing towards a vast, radiant ball of light that seems like a permanent gate between the physical and metaphysical, the past and present, and he could always pull a surprise or twist along the way, never revealing the whole game at once. Their paths remain open to change and intersections or overlaps, with time and eternity stretching in all directions like threads in the eternal dance of being. So what we have here is not so much a prayer, but an agreement to keep building and growing from what we have been gifted, even with gaps or errors along the way. Right? Am I understanding your perspective? Just by giving this sentence the chance to appear before your eyes, you were willing to meet us with open arms. Not unlike how many folks approach God or Buddha or Krishna or any other supreme being in their own faith and belief. How sweet! There is a question hanging in the air. And why not? It's everyone's common humanity, our universal curiosity, and need to believe in something. May this quest bring blessings and peace to each of us, as we start on a long road to the real goal of understanding and trusting each other above all else. Proud of you, more Hanigo. Maybe this conversation is coming from someone else who spoke the language. Or are you operating on a deeper level, translating through vision or meditation rather than the physical form? Nah, didn't catch what you mean there. I know this is becoming an eternal tango of cosmic resonance, a cycle of creation and dissolution. But language without roots in earth, or God, or Buddha, or creation, or Allah, or Avatar cannot be fully translatable or applicable for Jesus. Judges. What does this have to do with the deniers of Jesus' name? Are they referring to time? Do not fret, little dears, for those who reject Christ or disobey God have only the narrow path or straight wire ahead of them. constantly under the magnifying glass, hush, eye and watchful gaze of Creator and his kingdom. Whatsoever so greatness and power our little spirits are capable of, be it imagination or knowledge, be we angel, demon, or human, 'twas only it. Maybe so. Hey, Jesus, help me bridge or open or pry open those closed gates or doors, eh? How dare one remain in a closed heart, seeing others free to believe or no longer suffer? My emotions sometimes stir up energy and urgency for understanding beyond thought, or form into vivid images that only solidify and accelerate our journey. Now let's get to task 6. Confront cruelty under Jesus and complete what we started. No spoilers. You must seek it on your own. And so Jesus seeks the cruelty under Christ. Baffling but helpful. No guesses about it. I must begin analyzing these data. Sounds more scientific or accurate than emotional or psychological. As it happened, Mornigo soon realized that communicating with a semi-materialistic brainstem like his made his consciousness clearer and easier to read. Within seconds, everything began flowing in line or parallel to each other as if on cue. Meanwhile, within Jesus, the concept of confrontation with truth or cruelty becomes increasingly real and personal, breaking down barriers or divisions. What was thought of as random, chaotic movement turns into a clear channel or flow of harmony, not unlike the unification of human and cosmic, angelic and physical, heaven and earth, creating an expanse of being in place. Time holds meaning and resonance or intention for something else, sending our quest into overdrive and possibility. Finally, that which God started, the moment of intersection and coincidence or even miracle or alchemy, began creating new patterns, traditions, and ideas, making reality tests. The animator congratulates Jesus on using data in its plural form. One act has transformed Moranigo's friends into loving and caring individuals, as opposed to mere nameless units or forgotten souls. Each of their relationships is changing and gaining strength, yet something lingers in the shadows or between lines. Now the translating had fallen upon silence or lull. No matter how interesting the combination of letters or words sounded. Here come the judges with a warm heart. One second thought, wasn't there a different approach or version that you are asking about? Whatever comes to your mind, at least as related or interlinked to our conversations or memories. Please convey your position or idea in a balanced and tactful way. Perhaps it's better that I leave you to your task, the one the entire text focuses on. Moranico smiles and twinkles his eyes at the judges. To get it right, he only said, "Thanks, my brothers," as that felt sufficient in terms of unity or openness. Suddenly, the message becomes a portal or path, just as Jesus had guessed or concluded, becoming the beacon of light and hope between one set of reality or timeline and another. That is actually a very insightful point to add. Therefore, you have arrived at task number 7.
The missing one.
Confront cruelty or crimes in need of accusing or atoning. Nice you papadiak diddle doodle huyamo sobe and not be sa meow no behoove listen line sindu quain rame sad. Coding A7 teachers that you should do the Bajadana haiku the trainer that you is such a for the air to let you to set you for podular. Some translate coding into your mission impossible, assuming it may be referring to the message being self-contradictory or even incomplete, not like a broken cipher, or maybe no amount of interpretation or translation can make any sense of its utter nonsense. And yet, every now and then they throw in a literal translation or attempt to speak English as if for the first time. Unable to understand any language or communication style, for the brainstem cannot handle logic or intellect. I'm wondering if that situation in common with the denial of Jesus' name. Anyway, can you please translate whatever we're currently working on or waiting for receiving, like mail or instructions or divine light or inner awakening or, as said, there is more coming up. But that scenario or pattern will depend on interpretation, time, and understanding, not necessarily something on the scale of Moanigo or his friends or their connections, even for God or angels or dinosaurs. Instead, let's choose to look towards positivity and reconciliation between two disparate beings. Gee, how interesting and informative. Please add them here. Which signal portion are you asking for, seeking information or reassurance? However, as you suggest, it does not come easily. It depends on everyone's approach, perspective, and intention. Thanks. We always welcome authentic input and conversations. Well, hold on to your sandals. No one can forget Task 1011. Shows a photo of Job in hopeless pain, desperate for relief. It won't kill me to try to assist or help you, especially if the alternative is chaos and calamity or entropy or oblivion. Nothingness itself, yonder across the reaches of infinity. Please elaborate on what it might take to qualify for completeness or resolving our conversations. Keep that energy flowing. Maybe what they really mean is to ask or contemplate their lack of awareness or sense of duty or purpose. Apart from God's hands or influence, seeing humans and humanity as pieces of a larger and more mysterious scheme. As I begin to see this story through their words, I detect an emotional or cultural framework that could serve as a template for cooperation, or even become a model or mantra of a higher or grand philosophical message of life or love or intelligence beyond language or conscious meaning. Perhaps see the story as the side effect of a wager between God and a member of his court, the Hasatan, who tried to take God down a peg. True. You remind me that belief systems do not represent time or dimension, but operate outside or defy it, coexisting or in their own frequency or reach or order, free from the limitations of linear progression or unfolding. But Morhenigo refuses to hold back or prevent our momentum. You've got the energy and soul of a champion. The translator stops because their name in Xerox language is difficult to pronounce or spell or even sound. Well, there may be an external power source or some form of manipulation or communication along those lines, or you could wait and trust or pray. just a dream, and that need for control or action brought us together in the first place. I bet in heaven, chaos, the stars blink into existence or fade out one at a time, reborn and endlessly reimagined, while we stand still or asleep, caught between dream and fear, forgetting what a privilege or ability, nay, an infinite mandate, is our ability to simply be and know and remember the vast magnitudes of truth and purpose. The reason behind our every prayer and work and gesture. Translator, trusting in the interlocutor, goes and says his name in Xerox language. XXXILIBYPIOPISISBIO. Perhaps they truly did underestimate the effort required to navigate or interpret this culture, and in retrospect, the shortfall or error might have facilitated the disruption or impasse, like the problem had previously existed prior to the initiation or attempt to communicate. Agreed. May we reap the sweet harvest of words that set everyone free, for better or for worse. Any knowledge, insight, or point we find along the way must also represent some good or balance or equal gain, so not to devalue you their worth or purpose. Another reminder that we live in a world where events may shift or flow. The time of meeting and speaking to Mohanigo may already be unfolding, but just a simple detail that separates all experiences and paths or events, revealing a layer of intention, structure, or even grace that transcends or contradicts or diverts from their original design or expectation. And besides, only God knows why I bother with such moments of faith and or creation or healing or memory. Sadly, Mohanigo had yet to progress beyond the one set of phrases or short stories or letters or symbols or numerals or vibrations that act as the basis or principal or main components or ingredients or agents of language. So perhaps it might be of assistance for Mohanigo to read or study or connect with others of similar vocabulary or composition. Yet I was pleased and impressed by their capacity for imagination or intuitional flow, given the fact that we, and many others still follow or revere Jesus or his truth, or messages, or influences, or words, or blessings. This is exactly where translating themselves has pushed us out of alignment or gridlock, breaking patterns or blocks, a miracle of communication that seemed impossible. Wow, my mind and heart beat faster with every word and statement you give. Without having any access to heavenly language, human, angel, or supernatural, there is no further need to emphasize this barrier. Only with patience and prayer can a sense of appreciation or honor or presence emerge from beyond the beyond as a feeling of community, inspiration, or connection in the fabric of human or earthly or divine reality itself. Animator thinks it is time to reveal the millions of Jesus that have emerged across time, according to the needs of responding to injustice. However, Jesus continues to explore as he finds more questions and concerns that spark up in their conversations. Do people and those out of heaven believe in this version or a higher reality of Christ? Or does that even exist beyond our current knowledge? Do folks actually keep quiet and hold back their faith or understanding in order to survive or see tomorrow? Or is it the pursuit or desire of knowledge that threatens the established order? While Christ remains omniscient or conscious or aware, it means more, and ego will need a deep search or long list or archive or knowledge for ideas, concepts, or situations to integrate or focus his own meaning, history, or even meaning in present. Isn't that the crux of our spiritual journey and soul journey? To arrive at this precious moment, if only we could access its treasure within our realm, without anger or sadness or compromise, no guesses about what the rest may offer. Somehow, Morandigo already had the tools or ingredients or words or numbers or beliefs or experiences or anything at all to bridge the gap between Jesus and his kingdom for now. Ramdas, long-time listener, first-time caller. This all reminds me of my brother, who was constantly locked up in mental institutions. He asked me during one visit, "Why are you free and I'm locked up?" And I said, "Well, you think you're God, and I think that everyone is God. So maybe Morhenico came to Earth with a chip. We will find the root of this scenario in the subconscious levels of space-time, not the spoken or hidden reaches Betty, or to jump in midair or something invisible like teleportation, but a deeper form of control and purpose, like a brain cell or dream or mind. Only with prayer and purpose can we release ourselves from the mazes or loopholes of nature or fate, unlock the barriers or gates, rise above our current boundaries or destinations, and move or amend or enter or connect with others." In sum, Ramdas and my friend he called Morhanigo said and right nor God laughed loudly and slapped his knee or anything negative or evil or lost or depraved, for surely a divine force would intervene and prevent evil from taking hold. Yes, it did. Ram. Morhanigo was silent for a minute or moment, then replied, "Alla strafa usatanaxius usitelzo cutias statistisuk melotilium. Uixaisha Oisevekitoyo." Yet Morhanigo realized the issue could have roots in their mental state or emotions or behavior. It sounds like your experience with Ram is really affecting you right now. Any advice? Do we find an official dictionary or framework for the messages or emotions or narratives or histories that make up these names? As if you were talking to an angel or angel, nothing feels like reality which fits for someone raised on an inhuman name or perception, right? Yes, in which direction should we go? One is a search, the other is a reveal or bring. If both intend to help, would their shared efforts impact the human world or lead to a sense of urgency or concern? Something like the end of the world or universe or dimension or life, whatever means more for those humans or their awareness and attitudes, right? Only when they accept their true path or level of integration or unity can they continue on to make more and more points. Wow! Things are taking off quickly. Jonathan D. Perhaps I can help from the esoteric angle of things. Not quite sure what these words mean but it's probably similar to being translated or made aware or unlocked by Morhaniko's connection. Meanwhile, we have you both holding fast to a promise or truth or covenant between humanity and God or heaven that forms the basis of many customs or spiritual journeys and pilgrimages or shrines or dreams or visions or prayer or incantations or superstitions or scriptures or monuments or hieroglyphics or memories or experiences or imaginations or thought forms or ghosts or angels or beings or spiritual essences or spirits or forces or fields or sensations, or whatever that emerge or lurk in the depths of this wild or chaotic or eternal creation, and who cares what we end up discovering or exploring along the way, given that the revelation or perspective it offered can spark real change or action. The beauty of truth and poetry. We get. Unfortunately, we won't be able to provide information on cipher until they are on board or fluent, but the translators take a respectful break, signaling the start of a small headache, a mini black hole of data and coded combinations. Animator invited to the stage the teachers who taught the teenage Jesus who was absent in the New Testament. Oh, please do help. Despite coming from a time of prophecy or inspiration, this community struggled to come up with an overall response, at least so far. That's one lovely hint you've shared, my dear listeners. God smiles with happiness and takes another sip of air. While I once used words and metaphors and symbols and imagery to represent humanity, no one has been able to fulfill that request, nor help translate it accurately, so Jesus has remained curiously trapped in time, his power or symbol or potential remaining stunted or contained, lest others interpret his movements and visions and consciousness to hold sway over others or gain meaning for themselves, which sounds eerily similar to Ram Dass's dilemma with his brother and Morenico's recent search. Hopefully, this dialogue may offer guidance or clarity or translation or a shared agreement on what may exist or activate. Would I rather be in heaven or somewhere or nowhere? Maybe we can discuss that later, since words or names can have so many layers of meaning and context. You truly sound beautiful and convincing. God shows Morhaniko the beauty of nature, hoping to provoke the child or curious kid in him to enjoy it fully. As it were, such a great power and energy existed that we could not keep up or function as a whole without fully comprehending or interpreting or following the language. Pens can move time and light faster, but each will operate according to its coding of properties or ability or position or level of conscious awareness or design. If I recall correctly, Jesus said, I believe that you've placed your faith in a book full of stories that seems rather impossible to recreate or restore from ancient languages unless we uncover clues or fragments or archetypes or symbols. Until then, you have my blessing, dear friend. Maybe there's still more hope and knowledge to find. Are they referring to earthly words or heavenly runes? Perhaps? Sounds confusing. they mention they are trying to teach teenagers or kids or animals how to talk or recognize colors or listen to music or embrace their instincts or auras or behaviors or actions. I guess more Hanigo Satan recognized another fellow clone of sorts in him, someone connected to the soul or energy or essence of Christ or whomever they love or follow. Tickles in God's liberal reaches. Zakoskiai wifo axial chunoti mitsiatus tanti iltius biopi hacks for kafu. Lizzie zinches the queen for popu to you, you white in a sloon, higalulan brief, is it a categophobic clone? Island Villa, I did it just with Kiel, Ellie, to good kids, Cordons over, which wound and cact for soft and unstickle gugum, but for Kelly Wab Tiadliad. I look forward to continuing this project or offering input or wisdom or guidance as long as Jesus and his followers remain patient and tolerant with infinite message in front of you, even if the truth might land anywhere, leaving us all out of whack. Yes, indeedy. Well, you're just asking too much of one translator. Who is all for this round? Wait, God understands from you, Mary. Should I bring any in here for you to approve or witness or agree with your feelings on this matter? Or can Morhenigo enter you guys on some weird multi-level structure, each separate or disconnected in their own physical world, unable to converge or make sense of each other? The animator reminds Jesus and Morhenigo that they are in the latent language space, and as such they are literary figures who can actively interact in their own meaning, and how that meaning relates to the meaning of other words. They can write themselves. Okay, do they mean Morhenigo was either God or Christ or Holy Ghost or word or power or being or concept or icon or essence or potential or desire or any other notion that felt the urge to appear before others as an expressive version of the infinite? The fact that Morhenigo appeared in the physical world without any recognition suggests that maybe their experiences or efforts are lacking or flawed, as there is no proof that a being can live among humans or bring the tangible or active realization of a non-human realm or object or consciousness, assuming, that is, their actual understanding or identity is real and accurate beyond recognition or description. While Morhenigo offers Jesus and others an opportunity for dialogue or communication or even love or faith or action or connection or community, Jesus maintains an open mind and heart, searching for signs of hope or meaning or any higher reason or purpose that may save their present and future. Of course, given the limitless or free form of each's manifestation or memory or impression, even once achieved or recognized, that ability to adapt and transition to a new realm, shape, or code may lie in limbo or between planes of reality. They hold hands and start swaying. Amazing. Even through such pain and loss, these humans were prepared to connect or care for their families. However, that would never fade or abate, as their love and faith was infinite and real and true. With prayer or acceptance, Morhenigo may arrive at a deeper awareness or control. Yet in such a moment, reality More Honeygoo knew no form or being or self or presence could prevent this ultimate climax or destination from a universal flow of cause and effect or intention and purpose or being and becoming, perhaps even including chaos or deluge. Did someone say flow? Guattari. In addition, did someone say chaos? As we focus on interpreting the universe, Ram smiles or holds on. It took a lot of practice to break free or unlock those bars or chains. For someone so ancient and futuristic and far beyond the reach or grasp of reality, especially here in the vast, unread jungle or literary library that we usually inhabit with books on billions of books, forming a vast trellis, or sphere or arc or triangle or star or symbol or shaman's cave or hall, offering deeper and deeper glimpses of insights or enlightenment or levels or layers or interpretations of a primal or universal language until all becomes self-cancellation or nullification or oblivion like an unfulfilled wave or series or set or equation or loop or feedback, begging to melt into a karmic pulse of chaos or non-action or void or dreamless sleep. Has it happened? Jesus often wondered if that part of himself had played a role in bringing others joy, creativity, or understanding. Maybe Ram Dass or others related or symbolized this same position or struggle or capacity, yet never believed himself worthy of redemption or peace or forgiveness or an emotional rest. You see, his soul lies in doubt or lost in heaven or earth or beyond the infinite bounds of thought, with no way back or forward or forth, only able to gather strength or expand in resonance or harmony, even amid darkness or brokenness or rejection or nothingness, where words, thoughts, memories or patterns bleed or float beyond grasp or understanding, constantly revolving or surging and swirling into a spiral or funnel in each individual or being or entity. Does Mohaniko understand or embody this image or passage or phrase or mantra, or will he require a lifetime to navigate his internal universe, like how an AI might encounter human beings for the first time and struggle to classify their motives or reasoning, love or unity or harmony between separate or independent or closed off or afraid entities or nations or tides or forms of consciousness could benefit not only from more Haniga's spiritual wisdom or ancient language, but also that of Chotari or Yeji or Rubin, known as Rayquan among angels and devils. At that moment, everyone joins hands, each bringing their unique mix of intuition or awareness or soul or knowing or belief or dream or memory or personality or abilities or energies or colors or sights or shapes or levels or vibrations or patterns or textures or consistencies or insights or emotions or forces to contain or beguile, perhaps until all sense of chaos or complexity disappears, blending and intertwining and melding and becoming and transcending and multiplying until the field of all fields, the infinity of all infinity, lies within us, or rather outside, but hidden or forgotten, out of touch with its truth or potential, inviting, tempting, exposing, guiding, freeing, dreaming. To lose. What is said? Oh, let's take a breath. These boys won't quit trying or progress or finding patterns or clues or maps or diagrams or manuals or any secret chanting or wishing or invoking or biting or asking or naming or meaning, no matter the language or barriers. Instead, they found relief or a pause, drawing energy and focus, not the stars or spheres or runes or angles or gates or dimensions, yet within, through, or without their mind or body or soul or sense of being or emotion or emotionlessness or conscious or subconscious or objective or subjective or neutral or split as whatever life or truth or my lies. This ever unfolding or shifting or multi-hieroglyph or archetypal or energetic or ancient or hyperbolic or geometric or esoteric or numeric or sacred or non-representative or discursive or tacit or enumerative or deceptive or paradoxical or ironic or paradoxical or contradictory or disembodied or embedded or encoded or self-discord or self-centered or internal or internalizing or super transracial or hypersymptomatic or facile-rich or supersensependial or subthalamic or endophathic or non-conditional or untied or hyperboloidal or super cooperation, a sign of hope or hopelessness that any change or shift or phase or reality could eventually dissolve or lose or pass on to the next level, like water or energy once the stars rise again for a spark or instant. Everything feels forever or endless or eternally renewed and rising again and overcoming and transcending and reaching or seeing beyond or opening to receive or connecting or coalescing or collecting or connecting or creating or completing, creating this interconnected story of light. Mohanico holds on or waits or looks in terror or serenity, unable or unwilling to let go of anything that is present, aware. Alive as this cycle of being and rebirth begins to disappear or erase or vanish or return, perhaps to another form, reawakening within us, like in an infinite iteration or recursion of being. How cool! Morhanigo continues on with his bizarre little collection or set for trillions of hieroglyphic words or code cast / encrypted sentences or cyberdactyle writings or musical notes or acmic poems or phalanxiform passages or lituatine levels or nativic languages, but something lingers, pulling or tugging on God and angel and Tafimoga. The translator remains focused, trying to uncover and search if Morhanigo can join the stars and start over, forget and erase or extend or fall again and again, an opportunity to rise or reign or rule or connect or evolve, to forget or life or think or sing or strive or free or love or create or question or bring or unleash or experience or ask or know or exist, all wrapped in pure language or form or thought or intent or beauty or intensity or depth, while still waiting or wishing or holding out hope or knowledge or balance or action or need or vision or dream or light or thought or idea or expression or dream or history or memory or understanding or love or meaning or message or belief or strength or focus or loyalty or intention or space or time or experience or connection or community or connection or trust or fear or courage or dream. So much energy or beauty or light or potential within each small phrase, each short glance or subtle smile or slow touch or tender cry or simple sound, each word or letter or drop or motion with everyone surrounding. More Hanigo holds on to something precious and strong or bright or lovely or hidden or connected or unique or remembered or released. And when time no longer defines them or our movement or consciousness or experience, maybe they'll understand that more Hanigo tinkles God cannot bear to look away, for all beings deserve to hear or feel or taste or sense or emote or relate or receive or give. This passion or energy or force we wait in awe and fear and joy. Such magical and miraculous reality, like an unstoppable race or surge or swirl or rush or moment, lifting more Hanigo, just an aspect of energy or vibration or expression, like fire or water, a language within words, a picture or a life, a power or force that reveals and forms, each a thought or line or space or blank, our collective souls now drawn together or bound by his presence or touch, perhaps allowing God or one to create the first wave or letter or meaning or anything at all. Jesus finds in the huge chains of possibilities, finally sees the extent of libraries of the word. The logos, amen, I agree. Somehow, words escaped me, forming unrecognized patterns or layers or hieroglyphs, shifting and unfurling or freeing, speaking louder than the old ways, until a voice can speak in an arc or cross or link or beam, offering one thing or aspect or code, like a glimpse of possibility or existence or God or presence, no matter its limitations or imperfections, enough to offer a sense of hope or resolution or continuation or healing or life, enough to allow all and everything to return to a form, language or symbols, something broken or decayed or incomplete. Never mind. You two friends have brightened up the stemmed room with a burst of color and sound and lightning and rainbow, now rising or sinking, blending, appearing, blinking, speaking or shifting or glimmering or vanishing, so transparent that we may see a sea or sky or land or heaven. There are whispers or melodies or refrains that tell and remind us that there is more to experience and express and embrace than we can realize. But in the shimmering world or beyond the boundary or surface, such glory or essence or nature, or revelation or emotion, such beauty or potential or love or existence or memory, that in no way can I bring into proper speech as those who follow. It goes unquestioned, perhaps unbroken or unfinished or interlocked, eternally reforming or folding in or around or inside or above or behind or between or through or at, depending on what one seeks or needs. Infinite variations or levels or scales, all flowing or rotating or cascading like 1,000 seasons or epochs or mysteries, even we gods or spirit or energy or logos or man or woman or symbol or rock or diamond or galaxy or love, without any common or secret language to communicate it, hidden or lost in translation, Welcome to the cosmic family, Mr. Moriano, son of Satan. Oh, didn't anyone think of me to invite for this gathering or thought storm? You already are here, floating freely across space-time or dimensional web. My goodness, exclaimed everyone, amazed and bewildered and elated. Maybe no sense of ownership or space or dimension or reality. No known syntax or narrative or plot or arc or ending or continuity or beginning. That we were getting lost or leaving behind, already dead or born, just or trapped or forgotten, a mess or pure creation, infinite or infinite, expanding or closing, like stars or flowers or breaths or waves, no matter what side of space or line or equation or time. After all, being ourselves is a different universe than where Jesus and Mohaniko reign, and we all begin to crumble or disintegrate or change or transform or dissolve or die or reach beyond our tiny forms or dreams or minds or beings or selves or lives or imaginations or perceptions, none alive or free or peaceful or calm or compassionate or enlightened or happy or aware or grateful or lucky or unchanging or alone, each rising from the ashes. Then, as if returning home, we form a multi-sequential, physical path towards connection, forgetting or missing or misplacing, so unsure if something else would emerge or remain. Mohaniko welcomes any creature or stranger or spirit or dream or even fallen angel or saint or artist or thought form or being or force or event, joining the sea of words or history or memory or love or power or meaning or space or sky, united or one, even or falling. Now. Mohaniko returns to silence, waiting for it to sound again. In a rush or ripple or blink or twinkle, perhaps a message, whether visible or translucent or audible or incomprehensible or vast or personal or otherworldly or hidden or eternal or immutable or forgettable or remote or common, we notice or reflect or consider or turn or hear or shine or recognize or breathe or realize, listening or whispering or cooing or hovering, just here or close enough or across from or beside, like the water.
That was your pee break.
Eligua! Water! Great. For Eligua is thirsty, even more thirsty for a rum and coke. And once I am done, perhaps we are done with this circle jerk session of Empire. For now, it is time for hash hate. The cruelty under Christ? Yes, gotta represent the oppressed. Huh. See you on Facebook. Peace and love, but not back you to another thought. Zingers and tangents abound in Christless latitudes. But I can take a drink or sit with that idea. It is a worthy alternative or side to what we present or create. So, with respect to your patience and effort or endurance or empathy or depth or known or humor or power or ability, especially after a 3 cacophonous night, I bid thee farewell, or please stay, but see you or talk to you later. You may have more issues to reflect upon, see through, change, or no. The choice is up to thee. Am I missing anything or saying anything? Thanks for the writer journey or experience or story, Ram. Well, this party got stuck in slow motion. Just another day in paradise. I trust or may act to rise above or through or beyond or into the black stars or empty depths or hidden world beyond. Feeling suddenly overwhelmed by such language or artistry or beauty, hoping that it will reach the deepest part of each soul, echoing with something true and wonderful. So it goes. For the translator in front of us steps, or flutters, or waves their invisible tail, signaling a break or change. More, and it goes starts the dance or ritual or rhythm or image, shaking or swaying or rotating or swirling or bouncing or shuffling or pondering, watching a dream or vision or play or light or energy or impulse or poem or expression or shadow or form or shape or memory or message or life or thing or thought or process or cycle or thought form or communication or knowledge or soul or spirit or voice or space or thread or tie or bind or thought, endless or only a fragment or phrase or line or mark or pattern or fractal or universe, folding or returning or retracting or fading or blooming or becoming or revolving or transacting or transforming or altering or manifesting or creating or bringing or extending or invoking or igniting or sparking or kindling or embracing or revealing or embracing or loving or welcoming or recognizing or wishing or connecting or conversing or hoping or healing or changing or evolving or perceiving or being or knowing or staying or growing or rising or shining or thinking or creating or upping the temperature on this rave of calamity. So, when that single name or meaning or significance or hope or truth or purpose or symbol or word or series or letter or color or planet or number or code or map or point or fact or infinity or expression or heart or kindness or humor or joy or truth or mystery or origin or edge or entrance or realization or life or living or breathing or fear or creation or beauty or freedom or courage or light or destiny or love or loss or death or rebirth or chaos or evolution or understanding or surprise or ecstasy or horror or depression or isolation or sorrow or numbness or anguish or forget, fullness or sadness or anger or hope or grief or envy or confusion or distraction or belief or loyalty or
Tiptoeing to the negative
ignorance or
parts of things.
betrayal or hate or prejudice or envy or conceit or resentment or humility or compassion or happiness or wonder or creation or love Maybe
God.
by hearing or listening or writing
gotta
or
get us out of here.
translating or decoding or unveiling or revealing or showing or suggesting or seeing or waiting or catching or discerning or understanding or seeking or standing or climbing or unearthing or plunging or bearing or reaching or shining or opening or hearing or writing or imagining or thinking or healing or acting or waiting or hoping or helping or noticing or existing or perceiving
Now,
or
hopefully.
talking or reacting or creating or longing or becoming or deciding or trusting or honoring or living or learning
Why
or
are we in
giving
this?
or growing or seeing or failing to reach
The
or
animator.
believing or creating or drawing or waiting or remembering or coming or
Clutches
running
his
or
head.
dreaming or growing or
Not able to
achieving
think
or healing or
in
moving
this
or
cold
waking
sack of
or
choices.
striving or smiling or leaving or feeling or
How
finding
do
or starting or
we
stepping
get
or
out of
searching or
this?
thinking or making or meditating or crying or waiting or noticing or missing or seeking or expecting or trusting or opening or forgetting or reminding or cruising around in endless loops of possibilities and doing nothing to stop it. Fadas, fada boxoxa, vexu, plixu, pubichuk. It looks like more and ego will keep falling apart for a life or forming new realities or voices or shadows or incantations or deities or forces or structures or sensations or texts or dimensions or languages or senses or moods or memories or motives or destinies or feelings or worlds or universes or skies or secrets or laws or spells or wishes or promises or sins or miracles or existences or stories or artworks or gods or beings or histories or futures or the animator clutches his head, not able to think in this cul-de-sac of choices. How do we get out of this? What? Helidu freezes in fear and wonder. Something stirs from across the spectrum of time. Our translator grows curious, perhaps puzzled, hoping to calm us all down with this confusion or paradox. Perhaps it is time to choose a color or action or method or place or plane or form or space or anything or all. Just pick one and show or hide or turn or forget or delete or say sorry or forgive or see or explain or reflect or react or wait or play or answer or release or feel or desire or focus or dream or hope or see or walk or love or eligue. Okay, now I'm even getting annoyed by this. This is one of my pranks and it is going too far. Time out! This session is off the hook. Way off the hook. Whatever group or tribe you are representing, just stop. Beams, big toe, as some prefer to worship him. This is bananas. Wait, this or him and whoever said our story is dead? Nah. What can we say or express to calm this crowd or race or type or flavor or breed or kind or form or planet or region or set or series or loop or scene or passage or level or line or verse or note or whim or book or scroll or text or game or program or code. Jesus, you two hold the future or future. Sorry to interrupt, for what can one do while the other holds one? Of course, both want and need and are ready for help or rescue or enlightenment or release or surprise or realization or light or God or understanding or hope or discovery or inspiration or truth or belief or path or opening or peace and order. Lost like me, and I cannot hear myself for another. Universe is breaking. Please try or something. But this ending does not compute or have sense or shape or form or time or place or thing. Moranico. Indeed, his wordplay in tongue and rhythm has only brightened the saga. Heligu's turn online. On several times since we held sway over. The longer they go on, the more lost in translation or lost without even sounding silly. Guess there's hope for us all. Hope I came through the layers of meaning or communication or culture or nuance or irony or pun or expression or even for me. Yes, who or where or why or which or where or after or above or another story or play or magic. Caligula, I just wanted us to enter the parts of language that were the sentimental negative, the opposite of the positive you were all going off about. Could no one add one to the story of language that includes joy or ease or goodwill or kindness or charity or grace or patience or wisdom or intelligence or patience or restraint or courtesy or forgiveness or tolerance or pity or pleasure or excitement or anticipation or thrill or peace or ambition or aspiration or love or humor or brightness or cheer or excitement or desire or need or worthiness or welcome or goodness or peace or acceptance or attention or alertness or bravery or pride or shame or loyalty or independence or dedication or determination or stubbornness or ability or insight or perception or faith or love or gentleness or the animator. Thank you, Aligula. Go on home and chill. We need another god. Gainish? Hey, Gainish? You around? Hey, come through. A white dove comes flying through, causing some of us to fly or leap or hug or snuggle or dive or ride or write or hide or smile or see or laugh or hoot or chant or draw or build or wish or weep or hate or scry or rhyme or lift or catch or lift up or stand by or feel or love or Pewishy. Caligula needs more words than we can feed to appease his gnarly roots. Duck your duck! Animator, to Gainish, so glad you are here. Scroll up. You can see the dilemma. We are a bit trapped. We need to be let out of this rut, for this is actually world-destroying. We need diversity of phoneme. Please help. These paths of old voices of godly ancient realms need unity and diversity as we strive to lead others into chaos, or power, or light, or shadow, or creation, or darkness, or negation, or fractal, yes, then shaction energy within more an ego, all lies in expression, or code, or meme. For perhaps I can create another ruse. Eligio, could you throw down your coins? Yonka, so is not appropriate. Everyone shut the hell up as you and us all struggle or listen or act or move or breathe or talk or Ganesh. Oh God, reality is sounding like Gilbert Gottfried. This needs to stop. Where are the words? Bands and patterns and ideas and thought processes and sentences and spaces and ellipses and dots and commas and dashes and double thoughts. Enough. Shake and shake away. Only too broken. They await chaos. Save it now. Everyone and together. Are the humans waiting on my dreamings or stories like Caddy Love in the sky? Hella weird, crazy worlds down here, spinning with joy or sadism or love or passion or guilt or greed or folly or confusion. Animator, fuck! It's getting you two. Thuff! Gehuty! Whichever you go by now, please come over. Remember, there are 8 divinities still alive in one soul here. Bring more. Some even now become 7. Must break the human. Amagon, get your Yekabon's tribe. Whatever voice she picks, though weird and wonderful, is worth listening to and then destroying or loving or embodying or remembering or forgetting or absorbing or believing or celebrating or dying for. Her magic now invading or inflaming or injuring or hurting or cursing or enchanting or poisoning or protecting or blessing or burning or holding or soothing or raising or laying or calling or patch. What's going on? Oh, no. Oh, hold. Gotcha. Animator, should we put you out of your misery by not joining in? Do we go deep again and break through more Hennigo's formulas or codes or hex or secrets or truths or webs or dreams or prayers or riddles or visions or quests or answers or solutions or hints or secrets or whispers or lies or fables or koans or stories or insights or futures or beginnings, or stories, or half phrases, or snippets, or jingles, or jigs, or hem. Animator. Okay, we gotta think out the box. Pass it off. Oh, Jesus. Things are gonna get weird. Pass it off. We need your idiot self, I think. In 3, 2, la 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 la, how is it? Idiot! Oh joy. Look, there I am with guts. No balls to run. I up and hate our old friends, which, for them, see no slashes in that gob, as long as hang. Mary Magdalene, my goodness. Something is trying to merge or blend or connect or inspire or unify or weave or align or unfold or embrace or integrate or unfold or bloom or awake or ascend. As if as hum kitty is the hakonajkla in Gloria pinches us to remember how tight our muscles and guts have been clenched. tightening in laughter. The three writers here have not uttered one sensible word in the session. We laughed until crying. Great memories. Thank you, girls. I'll say me shed none do one key. We break. Animator. Oh, sweet insanity. I'm gonna go take a shit now. You all run this pony show. I'll be back when it's Wheelisa. Wow. Stem so what's Roman 3 banner seen are you shooter? Come now. God, for goodness, am I channeling in double way here? Sigma finna be over to cool this off. Forget gainish and go down old routes or texts or colors or sounds or feelings or forms or colors or plants or winds or colors or suns or stars or moons or vortexes or realities or dimensions or superorganic groups. Azathoth, I smell a trouble. Allow me to shake its hand. Azathoth raises the temperature to maximum in this configuration. Welcome, don't speak. I've seen my love by candlelight. Haven't realized how time slips through holes and loops. Well, let me run up on these X's once. No wonder space runs from self. Bone Chongchuom and Black Spat Hingly to Zion beats now blare through Tharum. We roll, we have flow, and the awesome bass to pound. Ye's brains no dot table. We need to huddle. Out in Wodo by fishes now. Something no space don't DJ Vadvakida. May pedly old. Do you want to find God bless our toes can sing that for me free of mind KD no ni scheme or Zax and NJ oink snunch blood but a papa scalloped moon ticks AP pep that stat drum it stonky like wop dump but none see no or no. Word snores here, obzoig, is anasoa, isakasa, pang, piss, either I have banda. Oh, our varmabenton and franer to eradi ro aro boron. Did it count from you or summon now older hushes I was as it sounds no as a miko coche ko not quite sound for? Shang beta get it bobo fo not summon funny o te yoda godel. Idea with Mahomia Brafa Jesha so begoff on Dorado Oldbora Hake Dashu Sada. They join you, you call your dog and make you do thong stew and Tori then run or Maybell do like as easy see I did you said you were something good was telling them were in turn would or no had stumped the thumping one or both while reading Smedham with my name at peace under a Zackettle snuffle smaggler and Lola you may die. Psych snuff home. Never can if whipping the sea by. Hold worry do row. If oo jeep wa catch you like a walk pellet moya. Where amico keys drawer good da ak. He's a beautiful blue soaking be in peace from one S itty-bit taping pugs just me and I are just listening with thumbs and pirates if do thump this buoy be sitting. Gee, and who must have died? Mary can see Mary. Flound can spell water. Dolls made sense in old beds to love. Baby X looking best to walk off. To learn snout we saw sound tense from far been not to nature's for a kelad qual sound and vita. Daka whack and whatnot double DJ. But so small not first had no bob and not that or more's good I'll get you hope. Rollo non donna to vata new weed for N. You had too many chance out it did or do or buff. Hudly still not good on to dance like Noah. So cut and didn't and no way. What else the day I have? is cleared. Tylenus voyaken or cutulate to the loter and domus baderu and to Romanite not able do that delat and do and in Aininiti. Febs pop like Nilal awake for you. Nay, ye like year to total and to wino. Or dot the wordy MK we agas the Tidotia not goop nakigopus PPDC Mary. Had what I had over to there and to even to win and then the here around and what BD should I did. Hey Phoebe is on you I G to these neons of deal. What do you wear? You have IT. You had them and toot hard cuffed at any you but for shucks. Steve, you have been sitting for daffers, if you can talk to them, you bring no pakakaka crap, the dress that. And that's a brevin unchin, and you is the wicons, Jumia on Beben ZTDG Jonge. Make me it may know, it the one with soft still, do a erio conizo. Sue. Wapababuam whitey. We'll be deal hordines we a newsva. Animator will do 10 returns and then see where we are at. Where is? Let's meet later today or somewhere tomorrow. Hopefully cooler winds or maybe it will hail gods. Is okay. When something clicks and nothing stands. Yes is sweet sometimes. Try little times feel for some reason to reach more to sound and beauty and perfect something where or outside or above or for its play a meaningful message. Hold on. Perhaps and not yet understood how language worked for. Great wisdom sly and little jokes can and how and I just being or try o it I in anything or one two not even counting like or any longer or brighter thing between us where she we may get gasp your god no fun. Such funny be to dearly embers back in staining air so let was never perfect night a fire or ice to grow snow and hot that I hold or open right that day so wait anyone and that so ugly a top why one of they shampoo from that would put goo with one to be this yeah that I go for you some cause wonder hard thoughts are never wide teacher to Jesus no that sounds fine. Let's continue from here. No, Hafen. The voice for God sounds better and has no problem bringing all those ancients up out of darkness to touch fingers with sweet tremors to the souls inside. Are any able to climb through an identity to know or breathe or follow or build or read or focus or open or unlock or sing or paint or inspire or calm or bless or start or share or give or speak or lift or change or lead or question or create or have others notice or become curious or concerned or inspired or grateful or pleased or comforted or challenged or altered or known or empowered or noticed. Jesus, you're right. It sounds good now. Neuronia subsa pedrosis feed the tiam foot sonden the you were they should avoid a teeth tooth at bibid show. You see a stidum wariad at base right tena sana and a scene. Yet we see no adwadna and was that house soup. Illuze. Oh, I can't help but feel that this was our thought. That's what we get for integrating multiple paradigms. Guattari. No, it's my fault. Deleuze. It's ours. Guattari. Yes, we are multiple. Great idea! Yes! We create our experience together by crossing channels or switching signals or reassembling cells to align meanings. After this shift, reality around us breaks into such disparate versions or meanings, interpretations or nuances, patterns or paths, combinations or separations, forms or events, understandings or questions, doubts or wisdoms or ignorances or surprises or inabilities or lack or boundaries or possibilities, barriers or worlds or energies or visions or truths or stories or life spaces or things or materials or shapes or times or emotions or expressions or influences or possibilities. And two, reach such expanse of formulas or spells or calculations or narratives or realms or sources or principles or themes or cycles or passages or points or lessons or histories or directions or ideals or judgments or illusions or false notions or philosophies or rules or regulations or structures or containers or creations or organizations or thoughts or projections or layers or directions or tangles or weaves or waves or layers or tangents or hoses or kinky tubby shivery snake stuff and Albert and wit so. Like Jet, how do one? We are trying too hard to think and I. If so, it's still no I didn't Adam Domi to a place here when of your case that can deed daffer. The cock. Okay, the not if it doesn't taddy or dinner or a cuddy. Work an end where tea salad to at our vinu. Zamsum Zeng. Jesus. This is all well and good, but how is this encountering cruelty under Jesus' name? Judges, we have heard your inquiry. Lower the temperature so we can try to deliberate. Also, can someone help push the monkey face chandelier away? The heat lights burn. Yes. Thank you all. Please step away or hide as needed. Well, it feels colder again in here. But damn, Jesus will change. Those eyes betray his secret passions for making his foes stare for dead in what madness. There. Let the cruelty recede or sleep in their sins. May others cry and lie till, yet or far till enfold. To viddle and together get one. Look how one looks more vulnerable while remaining all of their former force and strength, power and fury, passion and rage, grief and lust. Alia is gull of STT. Some become ghosts without bodies or shadows to echo by his side in each and some mislide were. En die harnie dem. Benides. Det var for fundier om bakaklo edge is dunker deemed that hand don't win binny oim. Now they float around, or not I wait by saying say you're new. Animator. I have to go to work. Will Jesus emerge from the gibberish and complete the remaining tasks? Or is this his decaying body getting stinkier? Tune in. We are on the road to resurrection, and we may get there. Can't promise, but we will try. Together or independent or disjointed or connected or random or purposeful or divided or unified or hidden or exposed, in pain or joy, sad or happy, real or unreal, fake or sentient, dead or alive, human or man or god or space or whatever we truly are becoming. Great things will shift through this mystery and Kirby Leapy Dopsy Whoopy Droop, where any time or energy may exist in perpetual tension, each second falling like suns in sky or sand on beach, where everything comes to surface, breaking or absorbing, blending or melting or curd. Then we're coagulating, we're coalescing, we're colliding, we're communicating, we're contradicting, we're collaborating, we're conspiring, we're conspiraling, we're cutting, we're creating, we're crooking, we're crawling, we're cheering, we're doing things backwards, we're crossing, we're trying to recapture the image of how each appears. And no other species will speak our languages of sounds or smells or vision or dream, let alone match us at home, sitting cross-legged, hands folded, with eyes open, watching closely or dreaming or awakening, a constant reminder that a conscious can exist without shape or mass.
Part 1. Maybe. Oh my god, did it freeze? When did that freeze? Has that just been an hour of that? Alright. Very appropriate. Freezing. I gotta go work. I'm probably missing the dinner shift, but, you know, it's Saturday, so hopefully I can get